Okay, so just a couple of words that you're welcome after the guided meditation to unmute yourself and explore whatever questions you would like to explore. So just for now, sit comfortably and enjoy sinking into presence. Welcome your experience just as it appears to you right now, without any need to label it, or without any need to understand it, without any need to evaluate it. Simply be the welcoming space which you are. This is the sacred, the temple of being. Which has no walls and no doors, no boundaries. It is your very self. You are this sacred temple. Which is lacking nothing. Whatever appears to you, meaning, thoughts, and perceptions, bodily sensations. Whatever appears to you does not define you. There is no distance, no separation between this aware presence right now and its experience. Notice this intimacy, effortless intimacy. A wave may appear on the surface of the ocean. It neither augments nor diminishes the ocean. It is the ocean that's taken on the form of a wave within itself. Your entire experience is bathed with this intimacy. Welcome that. Welcome this understanding. Be available in this moment for this understanding, which is living itself as your very self. Nothing held back, nothing left to be figured out later, nothing that is being protected. Just a complete availability for this intimacy and the understanding that this intimacy is the reality of our experience, which we call love. Zero distance. The understanding of oneness, of wholeness. The understanding that my reality, the reality of the world, is one. The reality of infinite minds is one. Like the reality of infinite waves is one. So I welcome this understanding within my feeling state. I welcome every cell of this universe, which we call my body, to revel in this understanding. We are one. We are one in the breath. We are one in being. We are one in consciousness. The infinite, invisible reality of our experience right now, undeniable transparency of being. In love, in reality, there are no objects. Objects are the conceptual realm. But in the reality of love, of wholeness, there are no separate forms. The sunshine is interconnected with the leaves of the tree that are nourished. Interconnected with the fruit that is born. In love, your return home. You do not go towards a partner or an object. In love, you return home, the home which you are, which you have seemingly left, but in fact, you have never left. In love, it is love which we celebrate, not a form which is appearing to us. Where is love? What is love if not your very self? How could it be anything but your very self, your reality, the reality of love, the reality of understanding, and the reality of your very self? Are they not one and the same? And in this reality, there are no separate selves. No separate objects in this reality. So you don't need to separate yourself and lust for something apart from you. In love, there is nothing that you miss because there is no other. You recognize everyone and everything as your very self. How could it be apart? How could it be otherwise? That there is a reality apart from yourself is a belief. That you are a separate, limited personal consciousness is a belief. In this moment, what is, in your experience, what is separation? You've got to go into your head. You've got to go into some past or future to find a story about separate me. But in this moment, it's always this moment, isn't it? What's lacking? Are we not this one ocean? Imagining itself to be the Pacific Ocean and not the Atlantic Ocean? One ocean. One love, one reality. So make yourself available for this understanding. Say yes. And explore. Investigate. So that you become free from any doubt about your reality. Which you cannot find in the realm of thought, but you find it in abundance, as presence, as consciousness. As love. Beyond limitation. Beyond the limitation of forms. Okay, so if there are any questions, please make sure to unmute yourself. You're welcome to turn on your video. Any questions?
Magdi.
Yes. Yes.
I don't have a question, but just wanted to share a kind of experience or feeling or thoughts that I've been having lately in the last weeks, months. I can understand and feel and think that everything is sacred. Everything, like plants, animals, people, the space, clouds, everything surrounding us is sacred, is God's manifestation. As well as oneself. I think that I feel that I am God manifested also. All of us are manifestations of God. And this thought has been with me for the last weeks or months, maybe. And it's a nice feeling, but sometimes are involved in some other activities and I forget about this, but I've been trying to experience and be connected with this experience of everything is sacred. That's what I wanted to share with you.
Yeah, it's normal and okay when when you're involved in some activities, work or other things at home, and for your attention to be turned, to be focused on the task at hand. That's that you know when you're doing some repair on something in the house, that's your attention needs to be focused there. It's no problem. Now, everything is sacred, but there are no things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everything is sacred, but there are no things. So the sacredness is the sacredness of the nothing.
Yeah. Actually, the essence, the core of the thing is just awareness, is just consciousness.
Yes.
What is manifested is just what you said. Just, we use words to refer to them like things, but I agree with you. Yeah, just the
like in your
spirit.
Like in your dream, there are infinite forms that appear to you in your night dream. Sacredness is the sacredness of the dream, refers to the sacredness of the dreamer, because there are really no objects. No. So the dream and the dreamer are not two. So yes, the sacred, everything is sacred, but there are no things. And the sacredness is the sacredness of consciousness, of presence, of being, which I am, which I am. I, not I, the idea of I, or the memory of I, or the feeling of I, or the experience of I, but the I, the reality of being right now, whatever it is right now that is experiencing, that is perceiving, this I am this sacredness. And it's not a limited form that I am this borderless presence, this divine presence, God's being. Yes. Beautiful. And we recognize, of course, the other as my very self, so-called other, is this very presence, this same sacredness. Because the sacred is not an object. It's not phenomenal. It's not phenomenal. It's not a sacred experience, a sacred event.
Hi, Magdi. I have a question.
Yes,
Can you hear me okay?
yes, one moment.
Manoj?
Manoj, hello, one moment, Manoj. Let's see.
Yeah, sure.
One moment. Yes, yes. Yes, Manoj, I am with you. Yes, yes, I hear you. Yes.
So question I have is about identification with mind and body.
With your body, you said?
Identification with mind and body.
Mind and body, yes.
Yeah, so I theoretically know that I am not mind and body, but to experience that, I have to strive very hard. Like I do a lot of breathing exercises, I do a lot of meditation, and then I get some glimpses that I am separate, or I am the being separate from mind, and I lose the mind loses grip over me little bit for a little bit, but again I get into that rut that after those glimpses, most of the time throughout the day, mind takes over, and then mind creates thought, negative thought, and those creates emotions, bodily sensation, and that feeds to the thought again. So that vicious cycle begins.
Yes.
And it feels like I have to strive very hard to get to those glimpses. So, sorry.
No problem.
So how to break the identification with mind without too much efforts?
Yes, yes, yes. So first, let's try to define the terms mind and body. So let's, instead of going conceptually, let's look at, in our experience, what do we refer to by mind? What do we refer to by body? So in your experience, you perceive a thought, or you perceive a sensation, yes?
Yes.
So you perceive a thought, an image, a memory, and so that would be what we refer to as I'm perceiving mind. You agree with that?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do.
Yes. And then we also perceive sensations, hunger, we feel warm, or we feel tired, bodily sensations, which we refer to as body. Yes?
Yep.
So in our experience, we perceive mind, thoughts, memories, etc. We perceive sensations, bodily sensations, which are body, and we also perceive perceptions. We perceive the screen, we perceive a table, we perceive the car, we hear the sound of the birds, which we refer to as the world. Yes, you agree?
Yeah, right.
Okay. So the question is about identification.
Mm-hmm.
Now, right now, where is the last thought you just had? It's gone, right?
Right.
Or the sensation of your body. The last sensation is gone. Now there is a new sensation, yes?
Yes.
Or same thing with perception. Every moment, the perception is changing, right?
Yes.
So when we say I'm identifying with the mind or with the body, the ship has already gone, has already sailed. And there is a new ship, and that ship is also sailed. So every moment, the world, the body, and the mind, they appear and disappear. So the question is then, what am I identifying with? What am I identifying with? I say I'm identifying with the mind, but the last thought or the last memory or the last image I perceive is gone. Now it's another one, and that new one that's coming in is coming and going like that. So it's interesting, it's interesting when I look at identification with the body or with the mind. I can't pin down a specific body or a specific mind or a specific world. You follow? You following what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
You can't.
I mean, I think it is easy for perception. It's easy with perception to think that way, that perception are changing. So I don't identify much with the perceptions.
Yes.
But my experience is I do identify with mind and body more strongly. For example, if there is a thought that I am sad, I am desiring something, then if there is a thought of desire or craving, I feel I am craving, I am desiring.
I understand. Yeah, I understand. Let's continue a little bit. I get it. So in terms of identification, I can understand, and that's my experience, that thoughts appear and disappear, perceptions appear and disappear, objects, images appear and disappear, bodily sensations appear and disappear so quickly you can't even have a stopwatch to measure it. Up to now, you get that, right?
Yeah, but
so the question is then, what is identification? You see, so identification cannot be identification with something that is constantly fleeting. There has to be something else happening, and this something else that's happening cannot be based on your experience, because in your experience it's not possible to identify with a flying object. It's just it's not possible. So it's not your experience. It's not your experience. Identification is not based on your experience. Now we talk about desire. I am feeling that I want this, or I am missing that. This is where we're starting to get into different. We're no longer talking about our experience, because in our experience, it's not possible to identify. Not possible. So identification, therefore, must be something else besides our experience. And this is where we get into the belief that I am a limited, separate consciousness. When I meaning consciousness, meaning awareness. Right now you're aware. Right now you perceive, you are the reality which perceives. When I assume myself, when I consciousness assume myself to be separate somehow, separate from whatever, to be something, whatever that thing is, mean, although there are no things, when I consciousness, which is my freedom to believe, create a form, say, okay, I am a body, I am a mind, I am a person, I am whatever.
Mhm.
At that moment, you have, out of your own freedom, chosen to limit and define yourself in a separate way. And when you define yourself in a separate way, then you're experiencing a distance. You're experiencing a distance. Because right now, there is no distance in your experience. In your experience, there is no distance. But when you separate yourself, you will experience a distance. You will experience a separate me, a separate reality, a separate consciousness, and an external world with things in the external world that you love, that you like to have, and things that you hate.
Mhm.
And now you are engaged in a relationship of seeking, desiring, and avoiding. You are engaged in the process of seeking and avoiding and defending. That's where you are coming into your question about identification. The identification is identifying yourself, meaning consciousness.
Mm.
Identifying yourself as a man, as a person, as a son, a father, a brother, whatever. You identify, you consciousness, identify yourself as a body, as a form. And that's the identification, Manoj. So,
Right.
So what we need to look at is how real is it, or on what basis? On what basis do we define ourselves, meaning awareness, as a mortal body-mind, or as a limited awareness? On what grounds, on what evidence do we conclude that awareness or consciousness is limited?
Mm. I think yeah, I think my personal problem is that I'm not familiar with consciousness because it is so much tangled up with the body, mind, perception. My only experience is body, mind, perception, thoughts.
Wait a
And
minute. Right now, ask yourself, am I aware?
Mhm.
Yes, I am aware, yes?
Yes.
Did you have to get entangled with the body or with the mind or with I don't know, with the world to come to this understanding, to come to this answer?
No.
So ask yourself, am I aware? And you will come to the conclusion, yes, I am aware. Is awareness real? I'm not asking you, is your body real? Is the your experience of your village or your house real? No, I'm asking you, is awareness real? Is consciousness real?
Yeah. It's real. Yeah.
So is it right now, this consciousness, is it entangled?
Yes and no, because when I say I am, when you ask me, are you aware, right?
Yes.
And I answered, yes, I am aware. So my understanding was I, as a person, I am aware. There is, this
No,
person is also there and he is aware.
yeah, but I did not ask that question. I did not ask you, is there an aware person here? I asked you, am I aware? And you said yes. So it's a good question. Now, what is this I that is aware?
Exactly.
Let's look right now.
I don't know. I mean,
Well, do you find somebody? Do you find an aware body? When you ask yourself the question, what is this I? Do you find the body that says, yeah, here I am. It is I, the body that is aware.
no,
Do you find a thought that is aware?
no.
Do you find a sensation that is aware?
I should say no. Yeah, no. Maybe I think I have a belief that there is a person that is aware.
No. I got it. I understand about the belief. I'm looking at our experience.
Right.
Our experience, because belief is inherited nonsense. We are going to experiment to find, okay, if this belief is right, we'll adopt it. I have no problem. If the belief is right, is based on my experience, is based on evidence, I will be the first person to say, yes, that's the truth. But when I ask myself, am I aware? My answer is yes, I'm aware. When I ask myself, wait a minute, what is this I who's aware? Was it the body who said I'm aware? I said no. Was it a thought that said I'm aware? No. Is it a sensation that is aware? No. What is it that is aware? I don't know.
Yeah.
But you cannot deny
Right.
that you're aware, right?
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, instead of saying, well, I believe it's the body that is aware, when we all have that belief, but we're investigating, you see. So this investigation is very important. What is it that is aware? I don't know. But yet awareness is undeniable. And is awareness an object?
No.
Is it tall? Is it short? Is it green? Is it yellow?
No.
Is awareness, there is more awareness in the East and less awareness in the West?
It's not graspable. It's hard to define, grasp, or.
Right. It's not phenomenal. It's not phenomenal.
Right.
But yet it is undeniable, right? You agree with me?
Yeah,
That it's undeniable?
Right.
Right. So we don't know. We remain not knowing, which is very different from, I am, I meaning consciousness is this person. It's very different. It's drastically different. It's
right.
crucial understanding. So you need to visit that again and again. You know why? Because for so long we have adopted the model, consciousness means the body. It's the body that perceives, it's the body that thinks, it's the mind that perceives, it's the mind that thinks. We have for so long adopted this model that it's very easy to go back. Like the old groove, the old railroad tracks.
Right. Yeah, that's what is happening. When I sit in meditation or even think about it for some time, I am in that state that where I understand that I'm just aware. It's not body or mind aware. There is a third entity which I can't grasp or I can't define.
Yes, I.
Yeah, that's I. But when the storm comes, then everything goes to.
But I is always available, Manoj.
Right.
New rules.
Yeah.
I is always available. You can always go to I. What is I right now? Doesn't matter what storm you go. What is I right now? What is I right now? I is this transparent, aware presence. Now, this I, you can burn wood. You can throw things in the water, but you cannot. You can throw the body in the water. You can drown the body. You can burn the body, but I awareness, can you drown it? Can you burn it? Can you kill it?
No.
No. So this I, which is undeniable, all know I. We all are this I. I is I. I is universal being, universal awareness, universal consciousness. Is not subject
Right.
to the phenomenal consequences of the world, the body, or the mind.
Yeah.
It doesn't grow old. The body grows old, but I doesn't grow old.
Right. So I think I will have to keep revisiting this I
Yes,
thing to
absolutely.
break that identification.
You need to come to, it's very simple, Manoj.
Yeah.
Consider that there is no evidence whatsoever. You have to investigate. There is no evidence whatsoever that consciousness is limited to a body or dependent on the body or arises out of the brain. That's a belief. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do is investigate that to your absolute satisfaction. There is no evidence that consciousness arises out of the brain, out of the body, or depends on the brain or the body, or is going to disappear with the brain or the body. There's no evidence. Although 7 billion people believe that, there is no evidence. You have to come to that understanding only.
Yeah. I get that understanding from time to time as in the form of glimpses, but my problem is that going back to, but I understand that.
Consciousness has no problems. When you say my problem, what are you referring to by I?
When I say my problem is the negative experience or unpleasant experience I get when I identify with thoughts and body.
But it's consciousness freedom. It's your freedom. Consciousness has no problems, no negative experiences. It's your freedom as consciousness. So don't complain about it. If you choose it, that means
it makes me even more sad because it's like I'm making wrong choices all the time.
Yes, you choose to be Manoj. You choose to be a son. You choose to be from a certain country. You choose to be a brother or somewhere. You choose. Okay, so don't complain about it, because no one is forcing you to believe that you are a body or that you are a mind. Right?
Yes. Thank you, Magdi. Really appreciate it.
Okay, Manoj. Nice talking to you.
Thanks.
Okay. Any questions?
Yes, I do have a question.
Yes. Hi, Raymond.
It's I'll skip the preamble. I regularly.
I meant Desmond. I didn't have my glasses on. Sorry.
Close enough.
Okay.
I regularly, well, every morning pretty much practice Eckhart Tolle's, he calls it the immunity exercise.
Immunity?
Yeah, briefly, the idea is you flood the body with consciousness, you know, so going through various, whatever, the head, neck, arms, hands, and then allow the consciousness to run up and down the body a couple of times. And that's about it. So it's not specified. I think maybe 5 minutes might be the normal range. I usually add to it to try to at one point have the feeling of the body as being flooded with consciousness, and then let go of any notion of the body and just stay with the consciousness. But anyway, that's all very good. What I found on a regular basis, and today is no exception, from go to woe, it took me about 1 hour and 15 minutes. And what I mean by that is 1 hour and 8 minutes was going off into dreams. And I particularly noticed at one point, it's like a dream mode was arising like a wave. It really was. It would be a very close analogy to be like standing there in the water, and there's a 2 meter wave coming at you. There's almost no way the body isn't going to be, thrown, moved. Anyway, so I guess my question is, I know that there's some obvious common sense responses to this, but do you think basically attempting meditation in bed is, in my case, beyond my abilities?
Okay, Desmond, just to make a technical comment, I don't know if it's just me or everybody else, but the sound was slightly muffled. So I tried to focus as best as possible to hear you. And so hopefully I heard correctly.
Right.
And I'm wondering if there is like a way in the future, maybe using maybe earphones or something to sort of soften a little bit the muffling effect of the sound, just as a technical comment.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
And please correct me as I'm speaking to you now, because I'm not sure that I fully understood, your question. Yes. I heard the question about the meditation where you work with consciousness sort of arising through the body, or you experience, the body in consciousness. It's sort of a practice like that. And then I heard you speaking about some sort of dreamy type of meditation, where sort of meditation took on the form of a dream. And so your question was about this sort of meditation. Did I understand you correctly?
It was mostly a preamble. I'm moving the phone around, hoping it gets better. The real question was, do you think attempting meditation while lying in bed?
Oh, okay. Yes. Attempting meditation while lying in bed. Yes.
Do you think it's generally unwise?
Yes, I understand. Okay, thank you. Now, a good meditation when you are in bed is the meditation of releasing, of course, the body. As you lie down in bed already, the body is in a position where it's letting go. It's sort of being held in the comfort of the bed. Now the mind may be active. So in the meditation when you are in bed is to invite the mind to rest. So invite the mind. In other words, you don't want to engage in thoughts. Thoughts will appear to you, but you don't want to, like there's that game when we were kids, there was a wheel, and with a stick, you keep hitting the wheel, so it keeps spinning and spinning and spinning. You don't want to keep the wheel spinning. So when a thought arises to you, you just sort of, let it go. You don't follow it. You don't feed it. You don't try to figure something out. You don't try to think about how can I get a better meditation. Yes, Manoj. Okay. Am I meditating correctly? Blah, blah, blah. No. You want to invite the mind to rest. And as the mind comes to rests, then your meditation in bed is a good meditation. Now, if you are meditating upon a certain practice, there are meditative practices. If you're following the breath, or if you're doing mantra, or if you're meditating upon a koan, or meditating upon light light within, or whatever, then you want to, I would say, you want to be in a seated position, in a comfortable chair, because when you are lying down, and you are at the same time focusing the mind on a certain practice, a certain meditation, a certain form of practice, the most likely within a few minutes you will fall asleep, so that you will experience that you failed at your meditation. You will experience, oh shoot, I was supposed to do my mantra and I fell asleep. There's no problem with falling asleep. The problem is that you are intent on meditating via a certain practice, and the body-mind said, let's fall asleep. So then you would feel, that a disappointment, or that you're not succeeding at your meditation. So when you're meditating on a certain form, I would recommend that you find a comfortable position. I've done a lot of Zen practice, and my comfortable position was always to be erect, but that's just me. I have a tendency when I slouch in the chair after a while to sort of doze off when I'm doing meditation. So I usually sit, in a certain erect position. But the point I want to make is that the best meditation that you can do when you are in bed is no meditation without an actual practice. The meditation would be to invite the mind to rest, and that would be the meditation.
Is the sound any better now? I've changed.
Yes, the sound is better. Yes, I'm not sure what you did, but yes, the sound is better. Thank you.
Totally, completely a new system.
Yes, the sound is much better.
Well, in which case, just to clarify, yeah, Eckhart Tolle actually recommends that immunity exercise be done in bed, and it is very specific. The mind is always occupied, as it were. You're meant to be shifting between organs. But I guess I've answered my own question. I keep failing to maintain that discipline. Even the reason I'm asking the question, I guess, is the outcome usually is very good. I might spend an hour dreaming, but at the end of it, a lot of tensions have fallen away.
Oh.
There's a sense of just being the awareness.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
If the practice, again, I'm not familiar with that particular practice, so I was speaking generically, But if the practice, the meditation, whatever you call it, is working, perfect. I mean, why poo-poo something that's working? So the benefit is in the outcome. If the outcome is that a positive outcome, perfect. Just stay with it, continue with it. There's no issue with it if it's bringing happiness, a sense of well-being. Perfect.
Yeah, it's the hour lost in dreaming, which is
Well,
an issue.
okay, right. You see, the lost in dream is not so much the issue; it's the judgment about it.
Okay, they're actually quite enjoyable mostly. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a judgment about it. Lost in dream. Okay, lost in dream. It's a judgment about it. Now, the other thing is like it depends what your intention is. If you have a certain intention, then your intention is to just stick with the meditation and do all whatever the practices that Eckhart Tolle is recommending, and then getting lost in dream is not part of your intention. Meaning drifting in dream is not your intention. So then I would explore I would bring this question up with Eckhart Tolle or his students or the people who are teaching with him, because since you're asking me, I'm going to take this question in different direction, okay?
Yep.
Now, we are never lost in dream. We are never lost in dream. Dreams appear to us. Images appear to us. Sensations appear to us. We do not appear in the dream. So in the matter of speaking, we say we're lost in dream. What we mean by that is that there is something that's happening that I don't want. There is something happening and I'm separating myself from that which is happening. And when I separate myself, I'm judging it, saying I don't want it. That's what I refer to as being lost in dream. But in our experience, we're never lost in dream. Dreams appear to us. I don't know if I express myself clearly. Let me just repeat that you are not an object in a dream. In our experience, we are not an object in a dream. Even when we perceive ourselves in the dream, we are perceiving. We are the perceiver of, quotes unquote, ourself, whatever character we imagine ourselves to be in the dream. So yes. Whatever appears in the dream is not that which perceives the dream. So we never appear in the dream. We are the perceiver of the dream. When we say casually, oh God, I got lost in the dream, what we mean by that is there is something that happened in my experience that I didn't want to happen. There is a resistance to your experience. Good luck with the resistance to your experience, because your experience already happened, whether you love it or not. Good luck with the resistance. The resistance is illusory. The resistance is about, look, all is well now, but let me figure a way of spoiling it. All is well now, but let me figure a way of spoiling it. The way I'm going to spoil it is, oh, God, I was lost in the dream. Man, I just got so lost in the dream. I want to meditate and I got lost in the dream. All you're doing is spoiling your experience right now. Because in fact, you don't have any other experience outside of right now. Right now. So the storyline about I'm lost in the dream is your choice. You're choosing the storyline in order to experience being lost in the dream, which you never are. You are never lost in the dream. You are the dreamer of the dream. You are the perceiver of the dream. You're not in the dream. the world appears to you. These words that you're hearing right now, appearing to you, the perception that you're perceiving right now appears to you. You don't appear in it. You're never lost in the dream. How can you? You are the creator of the dream. You are the dreamer of the dream. It is your choice, which is fine because we have the freedom as consciousness. It's our choice to imagine ourselves the prodigal son, lost in the dream. But it's also your choice not to. And to come to the clarity in this moment, the clarity that you are this transparent, aware presence. You're not Desmond. You're not the body-mind Desmond that is trying to meditate and feel better and get better and all of that. Why, if you are in the betterment business, you're going to spend the next 55,000 samsaras spinning and spinning in the betterment because there is no end to betterment. Why don't you come to perfection? Perfection has no betterment to it. Perfection, the perfection of being, of presence, of awareness, of what your reality, that which you truly are. Sorry, I took your question in a different direction, but that's the lingo that I speak. So contemplate, I know that's not your question, but meditate on who the meditator is. What is this meditator? You imagine yourself to be a meditator? Why do you want to limit yourself this way? Why limit yourself to be a meditator? Huh? No, don't define yourself in any way. Explore, contemplate, not defining yourself. Whenever you define yourself in some way, let it go. Remain as that which you are, this aware presence. Whenever you're judging yourself, you're imagining yourself to be something judgeable. Judgeable? Is that an English word? Something subject to judgment, you know? You imagine yourself to be judgeable. But consciousness is not judgeable. You're not judgeable. You know, you are the judge in chief. But consciousness doesn't care for judging, actually. Doesn't. It plays the game of judging, but it's completely free from this nonsense.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So the recognition of your true nature is what really matters, not the improvement of Desmond or Desmond's life or Desmond's mind or Desmond's body. The understanding about your true nature, what the reality of Desmond. The reality of Desmond is not the mind, it's not the body, it's not the brain, it's not the DNA. That's not the reality of Desmond. The reality of Desmond is the same reality as Magdi, the same reality as the universe, the same reality as the rivers and the lakes and the oceans and the birds, the same reality, which is one reality, the reality of consciousness. Now, you know, so if you get lost in dreams, don't add judgment to it. Let it be. Let it be. Don't add judgment, because then you have the being lost in dream and judgment. Well, getting lost in dream. Okay, so you explore. Okay, is it possible to, explore who is perceiving those dreams? What is it that perceives the dreams? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Instead of getting like into, oh my God, I keep getting lost in the dreams, say, okay, well, okay, what is it that's experiencing those dreams? When you go to that question, Desmond, then you're going to I. Within that question, who is perceiving the dream? You're going to I consciousness. So invite this question, see if this question can have some meaning for you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, Desmond, thanks for the question. There is a meditation of being. Meditation of being. Being, beingness. Which I am already. So it's a meditation to the source, turning our attention to the source. To be. Not to be somebody or to be better or worse, or just being, the contemplation of being, inviting your entire body mind, every cell, every little nerve in your body, every little nerve ending, is to be the contemplation of being. Be sinking deeper and deeper into being. Okay, well, thank you all. Very lovely to be with you, Lisa, Holger, Fernando, Mina, Raul.
Thank you, Magdi.
Yes, Mina, George,
Thank you, Magdi. Thank you.
Raul, Lauren, Frank, hey Frank, Shiva, Grace, Holly, Primera, hello Primera, Jenny, and Desmond. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Magdi. Thank you.